he moved out and got into marketing. There are a lot of common threads between me and Rupesh, and our career goes on similar lines. So I am passing on the baton to Rupesh K. Rai to host this meeting. I will be around. I will be chipping in here and there and listening to this entire conversation personally. And जहाँ पे मेरी जरूरत होगी शायद मैं एक आधा सवाल आप लोगों से पूछूंगा.
Sure.
In my experience and knowledge in the industry. So over to Rupesh K. Rai. Rupesh, thanks so much for your taking time out, and thank you all the chefs for taking time out to have this discussion. We have Vikram Sharma yet to join. He was finding it a little difficult, so I've sent him a meeting invite. He should also join us. So Rupesh sir, over to you. Just to give you a quick introduction, Mr. Amitabh Choudhury is our chef of probably our generation. Nimish chef is definitely our senior. And then we have Gomes chef, who's also our senior, but probably falls in between. So good thing about all of them is that at some point in time we have worked together. Under Gomes chef, I did my training in Oberoi's. Under Amitabh chef, we worked together as a team at Park Plaza. Nimish chef, of course, due to the social circuit, we have been in touch. Sutra mein party karne jate the, to Nimish chef se milte the, and so on and so forth. So that is how things go on. And over to you, Rupesh sir, to take this conversation forward.
Thank you, Ravi, and welcome everyone who's in the audience panel. Chef Amitabh, Chef Nimish.
Thank you, thank you.
Chef Gomes and
welcome, Mr. Rupesh.
Thank you. And I believe there is some Chef Sudhansu Rajhans. Is he around?
He is awaited. I have sent him a message, but not able to get through.
No problem.
So maybe without on him, and Vikram Sharma is supposed to join. I will just check what happens.
Cool. Yeah. So welcome, all the chefs, and I'm a accidental chef for a very brief period, but still I'm chef by passion, chef by heart. I'm entrepreneur for living now, but I'm still chef by heart. So I love
once a chef forever. Sorry to miss.
Yes.
If you are chef once, you are chef
Absolutely.
forever.
Absolutely. But you people are still on the range, so it is so you have more contemporary insights and understanding about what's happening in the culinary world. And our journey from that, if we talk about Indian cuisine, from Chappan Bhog Thali to now molecular gastronomy, we have gone through various spectrum of evolution, so to say. And so is the palette of a discerning Indian consumer, or so to say, because Indians got to, in last 10 years 20 years rather, since the economy opened, Indians have traveled indiscriminately across the world, being exposed to various cuisines. So there is a lot of cross proliferation which has happened. Some international elements have come to India, and a lot of Indian cuisine has gone out through the travelers and people of Indian origin to abroad. So there is a lot of fusionism which is happening in the culinary world. So I would rather start probably from the senior most in terms of experience, Chef Bhatia, that how just take out yourself from the shoes of a chef and put yourself in the place of a kind of a foodie. Okay, a foodie who had been a sort of a gastronomical adventurist for a very for last, let's say, 40 years. So how do you see this whole culinary world has evolved in, let's say, last 4 decades in India? And then we'll come about the global scenario, but in India, what is your quick, broad, short story about evolution of food scenario, culinary scenario, gastronomical scenario in Indian food and beverage landscape? You can touch upon the street food. You can also talk about the 5-star cuisine. Whatever fits into your story. Over to you, Chef Bhatia.
Awesome. I think this is one of favorite topics, food, and I always feel that this is what I know, food. I can only talk about this. Yes. it has evolved like anything else evolves. Like, you know, a young child is born in your house. He crawls, he makes it to a walk, he makes it to a run, and then he finds it easy, and then he's standing on his own. So Indian restauranteering or being a chef, or the whole story is about 70, 75 years old. It's not beyond. And we started from, as you said, from Chapan Bhog and halwai shops and Udupi shops, and to a multi-course fine dining restaurant in today's world. Things have been changing. We've been learning, whilst as chefs, as restaurant operators, as hotel operators, and as diners also. So as the knowledge kept on increasing, the competition, which was between good and bad, started becoming between good and good. So today we probably in a times where the competition is between good and good, and everybody cooks good food. So there were times, okay, if I have to rewind, say about 30, 40 years back, and there was time when Indian restauranteering or being a chef or the cuisine was evolving, and we knew only certain cuisines in the world, which we were talking about French and Italian and American and burgers and pizzas. So this is what was enticing us to be an international cuisine. And what we observed finally today is, leaving off everything in this world, I think a largest pie in terms of international cuisine goes to either Italian or Chinese. And then the major part of it is, which remains with us, is our own Indian cuisine. Well, now how this all happened and why it was like this, I personally feel, is because as the restaurants started developing from serving the dhaba kind of food in Indian perspective to restaurant food, which was mixed gravies, whether it was a butter chicken or whatever formation for that. And then people
Chef
knew Indian
Bhatia, can I
food.
request you to be a bit louder, because
Okay, am I not?
story is very interesting, but I think audience need to hear you more
No,
clearly.
sure. Please interrupt. Let me know if I have to raise my volume levels or whatever.
Yeah, you
And
have to. Yeah.
sure. So, as I said, the things started from the restaurants of mixing gravies and known as Indian food, and one was known as international food. So Indian food was Indian, and then it was divided into Indian, North Indian, and South Indian, and East Indian and West Indian. Then the demand raised further, and it became regional. It became Rajasthani and Marwadi and Kashmiri and Gujarati and Bengali. In if it was Karnataka food, there were 9 different variations to those Karnataka food. If there was Kerala food, there were 4 probably different variations. The North Kerala being a Mapla, and the Central Kerala being Syrian Christians, and princely cuisine started evaluating whether it was from Rajasthan or any other part of India. So the competition is always, it is there, it is conquered by somebody else cooking that similar food. And there's so many chefs who want to master today, so that they all kept on mastering. Similarly, for international cuisines, India as a country has tried, I think, every cuisine of the world. But what worked with us, what we like as Indians, was quick fried chili garlic. So it was a little bit of Chinese. We created our own version of Chinese. We created our own version of Italian, because we love to have a lot of butter, a lot of cheese, a lot of pasta. Oh, that's what we've created. So now there is a race. The race is between good and good. That race is always got to be defeated. So in that whole thing, there is somebody coming up with their own styles. They call that aspect cuisine, or a chef's cuisine, or whatever the chef wants to do that. Now he can get in a mix of things where he creates in his own restaurant as a menu. Menu is not forever. It has to change, because the cuisine has to be commercially viable, and that's what we see in restaurants, even in our homes. If we was 35, 40 years back, we were eating aloo sabji and a dal and a chapati, and with a large family. Today, we are sitting with a nuclear family, and husband and wife both have no time. The wife does not want to cook 6 days in a week. She says, okay, one day, Sunday, I will cook 6 days you eat out. One day could be a McDonald's, one day could be a delivery, one day could be a fine dine restaurant. So see how much the diner is getting exposed to. The diner wants also variety, and that variety has to be done by cravings which the chefs have to create, and the cuisine is, it's always evolving, and I think it will always evolve. It's like if I have to give an example of if you have to run like a hare and hunt like a fox, I would say today's chef, or the chef which was some time back, has to create and recreate the recipes by flirting with the ingredients, finding newer ways, newer fire, newer pans, newer regions to connect together and create that cuisine. And it is always evolving. And cuisine is one thing which will never go for darkness. Even today, whilst I think we are in the darkest times of medical history, where people feel that, oh, you should not go out to the restaurant, you should not order. But you tell me, you've been a chef yourselves, and there have been so many here. Has your craving to eat
Chef
food
Bhatia,
died?
thank you. I'll come back to you. You have given a very good, macro perspective, and you have set the tone right. Thank you for that. I will come about the after effect of COVID and how we are going to kind of cope up, and probably a new era of our existence. I'll come back to Chef Choudhury in the meanwhile, and taking on from there. He
just
said
a second, Rupesh ji. I would just like to quickly welcome Chef Vikram. He's already online here with us. Chef, thank you so much, and namaskar.
Hello, chef.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, chefs.
Yeah,
Hi, welcome,
Rupesh,
chef.
you may keep carry on.
Chef Choudhury, so he gave an analogy, that change is inevitable. A small infant crawling becomes teenage and becomes adolescent and becomes, kind of middle age, and maybe the life cycle completes, and that kid dies, after attaining the old age. Whereas probably this must be happening with our cuisine also. So while we are living in the times of contradictions, I'm not referring to the COVID time where everything has come to a halt, but before COVID, the culinary scenario, if you talk about, we were, at one hand, we were experimenting with the molecular gastronomy. At the other hand, there was a tribe or a cult of chefs. They were going more micro in nature. They were getting more regional, seasonal, and taking pride, like what Chef Bhatia said, that 9 variants of Karnataka food within a small region called Karnataka itself, and maybe some 6 different variants within Kerala, Syrian Christians having different food, and Mopla Muslims having very different, Arabic influence on their, palate. So both the things are coexisting together. Which one you think is going to be food of future? Is it going to be more molecular in nature or fusion in nature, or it is going to be something which is more and more regional, more and more seasonal? Because something which was very upmarket and classy a while ago has become a mass market thing. Any typical hospitality hotel menu or restaurant menu, which used to be a very in thing or cool thing or very happening thing just a decade back, is kind of is more of a middle class food, a mass market banquet food. So where do you see? And we all have to agree that always it is the trend setter or the upscale consumer which sets the trend. They set the trend, they would exit out of it, and it will become more of a mass market commodity. And once something becomes a mass market commodity, like in your age pattern, like from a child you have become much, a 60-year-old person. Now number of people who are knowing you, our number of people are more, but you somewhere know within yourself, okay, you are at your fag end and your nerves are giving up, your nerves are fraying. So keeping both this scenario in mind, I would like to take your sort of viewpoint on this.
Thank you, Rupesh. It's a lovely and interesting question. See, like any other art, I want to start like any other art. Great cooking require your taste and creativity. it's need to say that you need to appreciate the beauty and most require mastery of the technique. As you said, yeah, Rupesh said, Nimish said that trend. See, customer demand is always important. You said technique, you said cooking skill, you said trend, anything need to be changed on customer choice and their acceptance. Now coming to the point about the past, future, past and present. See, it's like a complete triangle. It's a past, present and future. Everything is co-linked. And if you ask me this, now the modern cuisine is based on more of modern technology, like how you said molecular is there, sous vide is there, pressure cook is there. So there are lots of many more techniques are there. Now coming to the future. Future, if you ask me, I can predict. It will be more on high-end technique. It will be more on high-end technique. It will be more on personal skill and technology-based, high-end technology-based. Okay. It's a small saying. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly audible.
Yeah. See, what I showcase now, the future, I can see it might be a robo kitchen, like science fiction movie. I predict so. It's like a joke. The future trend will be more on by seeing the present scenario. I would say that it will be more on plant-based food. People like to go for vegetarian. They like to go for protein flip, like less meat, more vegetables. Like the meat protein might be reduced. They has to practice lots of sustainability on the home kitchen too. We chef also need to practice the sustainability ingredient. We need to use that. We need to emphasize on the local cuisine, local food. What Nimish said, it's important. And yes, this is the future, what I see. There will be no more change. What I said is a triangle. Everything is co-linked. See, end of the day, your skill will be required. Your technique will be required. In that, I want to say that technique is more important. Now, whatever you say, the present scenario, the technology, if you see, I feel the technology is more on European cuisine, which is rather than helping the Indian cuisine. In Indian cuisine, you can't cook sous vide. You can't put chicken tikka on sous vide. You can't make butter chicken on sous vide cooking. You can't make a naan on sous vide. It's a simple.
Sorry, I didn't get you. You said naan and butter chicken on.
You can't make on sous vide cooking or pressure cooking, the modern technology. The modern technique is more on supporting of the Western cuisine. And if you see the classic dishes, like you can't make a pasta in sous vide, which will not give you the better taste. So whatever you say, and everything is correlated on technique. I'll give you a small example why technique is important. It will be important. It was important in past. It was important in present. It will be important in future also. Might be few days back, my daughter, she called me up. Dad, I'm following your recipe. I have to make the grilled chicken. I follow your recipe. I made the grilled chicken. The chicken was very tough. It is not so juicy how you used to make. Now see here.
So Chef Choudhury, I hear you. So your point of view is that the indigenous versus technology. It is technology which is going to take over when it comes to the future
Western
trend of F&B space or culinary world.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
But it's not with the Indian cuisine. You can play with the Western cuisine with the lots of technique. Not the Indian cuisine will be not possible, I feel, to play with the modern technique.
Absolutely. If you see Chef Amitabh, most of the new YouTube or social media chefs or cooking heroes are emerging out of some god-forsaken landscapes, some daddy, some arungam, making, all those videos are, so there is a shift in the all the genres. If you see the entertainment, people are no more watching Saas Bahu serial, and they have shifted to Big Boss or some reality show. So in food world also, my personal take is that there is a reality show which is emerging out, and people who are doing more of sort of range based cooking with predictable ingredients and all the gadgets and gizmos, they are not getting attention of people or viewer, and the
Am I audible?
No, you are audible, Chef. I think Rupesh is
having something.
got disrupted. Nevertheless, that is why we have two hosts that we can carry.
Yeah.
So what Rupesh is trying to right now say here is that, all the top head chefs who have been kind of performing on television, they are not getting that kind of good TRPs, rather than people who are like food bloggers, who are going into native villages, cooking the food on the earthen pots, things on those lines are getting more popularity. So that is what he was trying to say. Before he kind of comes back, I'm sure he's trying to restore his connection. I would like to give a question to Chef Rana, Gomes and Chef Vikram, because incidentally, I believe both of them lie in, similar age bracket. Both of them, I think, would have started their culinary journey. Probably Chef Gomes would have started a little earlier. But why I say this is because I trained under both of them. Chef Vikram used to be working at St. Mark's, and Chef Gomes used to be at the Oberoi's. So I would like to give the third question to Chef Gomes and Chef Vikram. What Chef Amitabh said in terms of technology use. What is your views? Do you think technology is going to be further enhanced and usage of technology is going to be more in the future? Or do you think that it is going to be the skill set which is going to overpower the technology?
Well, Ravi, what happening is right now our trend of technology is definitely taken over of culinary stuff. But thing is that nowadays people are getting people are getting more experimental. So definitely what I would see is that as time prolongs, people will definitely come back to the previous thing what we used to do it, like using earthen pot, earthen oven cooking and all, because people are more into healthy stuff, organic stuff.
Right.
So what happened there? People would love to use all those organic stuffs, and they used to use organic earthen cooking pots and all. Where you see in Indian cuisine what we use, like if you go to instant ages, you can see people are using all those earthen pots and other stuff, and we are again started using those. If you see the hotels and all, they started serving food in earthen pots, and they started serving desserts and all. So I would see right now, of course, just because since thanks to those missionary chefs and all, they have bought all those technologies all in the world. But still, what I'm thinking, after some time, definitely yes, people will choose all those stuff. The older one.
Yeah. Agree with Chef Vikram.
Hi, Ravi.
No.
Hi.
Mama.
Hello.
We can hear you, Chef.
Acha.
Yeah.
Ravi, what I'm seeing for the past few months is that we were running. Everybody was running towards a goal. Then now almost when we are about to reach the goal, then we realized that we were running at the wrong goal post. Now we are running backward. The reason is now over the past, because our hotel is still operational, and I'm seeing that a lot of changes in terms of guest demand. The food now no longer people wants to eat a fancy food. Obviously, to make nice videos and all, they like to post it. But when it comes to for their real eating, they are asking for the food which will give benefit for their body,
Absolutely.
which will boost their immunity system. Now guests are asking for greens and those sags and other things, and they are like well aware of that what they have to eat now. A few months back, few years back, people were eating what we used to make it look fancy and nice.
True.
So now the trends are completely changing. Yes, see, in terms of technology, yes, the technology will win because of not because of to create something different or new. The technology will be used in kitchen to cut down the manpower. Now we don't have a liberty of keeping assistant to do mise en place and saucier to make sauce and then one person to dish out. Now everything has to be done by one person.
True.
So in that, there the technology will come in handy, like a combi oven, and there are a lot of other things which has come. So those things will take over, and the more and more the hotel's kitchen will shrink. The kitchen will shrink, and the production will increase. So this is the trend what I'm seeing.
Great, great. I think
Absolutely.
Rupesh ji, we lost you in between.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. That laptop, this thing modem, whenever electricity goes, it happens. So I've come on my handphone now.
No
So
problem, no problem.
I won't
So,
be sort of that.
in your absence, I kind of gave one question to Chef Gomes and Chef Vikram. And the question was a chain link from what Chef Nimish and Chef Amitabh had kind of woven the story. So I asked them a question as to what do you think the future is going to be? Is it going to be technology or is it going to be skill-based jobs? So
yeah, I heard Chef Gomes. I heard Chef Gomes, and he's bang on.
Yeah.
He very clearly pointed out that yes, long run technology will win, but more in terms of reducing manpower. So something which is to be scaled up, like every industry, it is going to happen. Artificial intelligence will take over, and automation of kitchen is also kind of a byproduct of that artificial intelligence. So that is inevitable. So what I think, there would be two distinct sections in the culinary world: those who are pretty much innovators, who are creating some new recipes, or who are great researchers, who are able to bring out some lost ingredients, and they are like expert or champion of super micro cuisine. And at the same time, to cater to the bigger lot or the masses, or industrialized cooking will happen more sort of technology based. So sort of very good warm up.
Outsourcing and subscription is the model going further.
Yes, absolutely.
Outsourcing and the subscription model of cuisine is going to be the future. That's what I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even I feel that what Chef Rana said, that the future cooking is coming back. Technology is more important. Yeah, if you have to technology is more important, but the technique will be more important, and it will be more pressurized on the chefs, the young generation, that you should follow the proper technique. The technology which is coming, it will help. Yeah, I agree. It will help on the manpower. It will help on the food safety.
Yes, I miss Chef Rana. I don't see him in the picture. Ravi, what did I miss something?
No.
Hello?
I think your voice is lagging again. I think some connectivity issue.
No, I said, is Chef Rana? I didn't interact with Chef Rana. I didn't see him.
Yes, Chef Rana, probably yes.
Just Chef Gomes. Okay, sorry, Chef Gomes.
Chef Gomes, yes.
I'm sort of referring you as Chef Gomes.
Yeah.
Right.
Dominic Gomes, actually.
Okay. Yeah, because I just found this Rana and Gomes together a little unusual. I thought, Rana is more Nepalese title, and Gomes is pretty much, Mumbai
Actually,
and East Indian or Goan.
I'm a Portuguese descendant, but I grew up in I grew up in Bangalore, and my families are migrated to Calcutta in 16th centuries, I believe, from Goa. But we are Portuguese descendants, and I'm a third generation chef in our family. And our whole family is a chefs. We all are chefs community.
Excellent. So we are fortunate to have you in the forum. And
very well known, Rupesh ji, the Gomes community are very well known in their hands in cooking. So
I remember. We had a faculty in IHM Dadar. He was also Mr. Gomes, I remember. So anyways, so that's a very, it's a great forum, quite a insightful interaction. Now coming to Chef Vikram. Chef Vikram, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's your take on how do you see this whole industry evolving? Just like housekeeping, now talking, zeroing down or zooming down my discussion is specifically to, let's say, a 5-star hotel or a 4-star hotel segment. We all know that, COVID has completely crippled us. We don't know what is kept in the future. Everything seems like bleak when it is going to recover. Even if it recover, what is going to be the new normal? Nobody knows actually. But we all operate on our instinct, and chefs are usually people with, who operate on their gut feel and instinct, most of the chefs. So and you representing a 5-star hotel, I just wanted to pick your mind as to how do you see this whole industry evolving so far. When the industry started, hospitality industry started, departments like security, human resource, housekeeping, that used to be on the payroll of hotel. Gradually they found that outsourcing is a better idea, and that gave birth to many facility management companies. Now a lot of hotels are, for example, if you go abroad, a 500 room hotel will be managed by just 10 people or 5 people even, because everything is technically outsourced except the revenue part and accounting part. So do you foresee this happening, that this post-COVID will give birth to more specialized hospitality companies, the food and beverage companies, which will, a lot of hotels are now outsourcing their restaurant space to particular brands. But so far, executive chef always belongs to the hotel payroll. Do you think that the time is going to come that, a hotel will be just like a commodity and everything will be outsourced in future, post-COVID?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Because see, in F&B, in production.
So I'll take it from here, from Vikram is lost.
Yeah, sure.
See, what you said, the outsourcing abroad and India. In abroad, people, we outsource because the manpower labor cost is very high. Manpower cost is very high. But if you see India, the manpower cost is not so high. You get skilled labor in low price if you search. And how you said that future, it can't be. It has to be run by the hotel itself. Yeah, by few departments, I can say KST, kitchen stewarding, can be outsourced. The housekeeping can be outsourced, but not completely. But no kitchen, no service, no front office, but security is always outsourced everywhere. So I don't think that outsource practice will be more feasible in this industry in hotel in India. So that's my take.
Chef Choudhury, just a small submission. Some 10 crore migrant workers have gone back to their villages and hometowns.
Yeah.
Out of that, 2/3, as per the sort of research, 2/3 are not going to come back because the way they were treated, during this COVID time. A large portion of this, the reverse migrant workers, they come from hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So the dynamics, the equations which were there before COVID are going to be different post-COVID. Post-COVID, it will be difficult to, by that logic, if only 1/3 manpower is going to come back to, the cities, which is, I would call them blue-collared workers. So if only 1/3 blue-collared workers are going to come back to the cities post-COVID, the cost of labor is also going to increase 3 times more, by that logic.
Rupesh, I'd like to say something on this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please.
See, I'm a little differ from the chef. Sorry, I didn't get in. But I think so. What Rupesh was saying is right. See, manpower, maybe it was a cheaper earlier. But what I'm seeing is now is that the convenient food also is going to play a major role in hospitality industry. Now, in my bakery, I am outsourcing the frozen croissant and a few desserts. Now, because I don't have a liberty of having 3 baker chefs now. Now my bakery chef, I have only 1 chef who's not even a chef, it's a commie. Now, I can't expect the entire dessert to be made by that person. So I'm outsourcing few dishes, a few products. I was in a hotel in Switzerland 2 years back, and it was about almost 100 rooms hotels, and it's run by only 7 staff. So we were shocked, like how 7 staff can manage a hotel like 100 rooms hotel with 2 outlets, and that outlet was also very small. The most of the product they were using in the buffet was outsourced. So it's like having a outsourced kitchen by itself. And the person who were baking it, they are not chefs. So they were like the receptionist was baking it. So I see that there will be a lot of changes. Maybe outlet will be given to the other hotels in Singapore. So in even Marine Bay, they have a lot of outsourced restaurants. So like that, I think most of the hotels will budge for outsourcing, because running a hotel and F&B outlet, banquets and all is going to be very, very difficult in coming years.
And Chef
Absolutely
Choudhury,
right.
housekeeping.
Can I punch in here?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Nimish, please.
Yeah.
Can I punch in here? I think what Rana said was absolutely correct. And it is the processes which will be outsourced rather than people, because overheads, everybody needs to have a higher yield and a better business. High operate business, restaurants in US, UK, in Bangalore and all over, I mean, a lot of these places. And what I see is these are always processes. And it is a lot to do with getting your team lean and getting a better results. It is a skill which is getting diminished. It is getting leaner and leaner. Those skill, if it is getting leaner and expensive, so what you need to get is the processes which have to be outsourced. A lot of these hotels are outsourcing restaurants and their banqueting. You see Zia is outsourced in Mumbai. There is so many hotels which have outsourced their banqueting operations. Ashok in New Delhi has outsourced almost all its restaurants. That is the future which is going to come in. And that's where hotels would have their rooms, which they know their business. The food and beverages would always be run by the specialist, which is predominantly chefs and chef-driven places, because they understand the cuisine, and that is the way forward.
Sure.
Chef Nimish, hope the chef will be under the pay scale of the hotel. The
No,
chef,
he would
executive
be a
chef.
revenue manager. He would be an owner himself. He would be a revenue manager. He would not be.
So it's running like a own business. Chef is running like a own business.
Absolutely, that's what it started. If you see Zia in Oberoi, Mumbai, and that Oberoi, Mumbai was a flagship property, they've given to a chef which is outsourced. And there are many hotels like that in Mumbai who've done it. In Bangalore, if you see, Chancery had given banqueting which was outsourced. Rana, in your own hotel, Royal Orchid, I think about 7-8 years back, you had given that bar and the restaurant which was
Jeffrey,
outsourced.
but it was not success. Jeffrey is not outsourced now.
No,
it's
it
run
is.
by the hotel. Is it
not.
Gomes? Is it Gomes? The Jeffrey is run by
They
outsourced?
also had outsourced sugar and spice and things like that. So that's how it was the trend.
Okay, it might be, okay.
Yeah, Chef Choudhury, there would be some, sort of mortalities in between. Some outsourcing may not succeed, but we are talking about a general trend, by and large, a general trend, which was happening in some specific pockets so far, but we are talking about a post-COVID situation when it will become inevitable. And housekeeping, for that matter, a lot of hotels, new hotels, they are outsourcing their housekeeping to.
Yeah, the housekeeping lower staffs have been outsourced.
To facility management companies.
It's from long time. Not for the COVID, yeah.
Yeah, it is actually, it is more, it is further structured, structured approach, it is further structured approach. So the chefs are not going to be out of job. The chefs will form their own food and beverage specialty organizations, which, their job will be to cater to these 5-star hotels. Now, 5-star hotels owner will also have one chef skill-based person on their roll so that he can actually deal with those outsourced resources. So it is not about probably cut off job, but it's a kind of, a step towards evolution. I understand that.
Yeah, see, everything we are predicting, we don't know. We don't know what would happen after 2 months. Are you knowing that what happened before 2 months, what is going to happen? See, we can't predict anything. What I feel personally, the industry will be same. It's like a triangle. It will be same. It will be come to the same platform. It's a matter of time.
Absolutely.
It's a matter of time.
Wish what you feel is true. Predictions, a collective industry expert prediction, if not 100%, it would be true to 60 to 70%, because you are on the front line. You would understand your industry better. So if there is a mass
always
opinion,
an analysis before the paralysis. That's how it is.
Yeah.
We are analyzing.
Pardon, Chef, I didn't get you. Chef
there's
Nimish,
always an analysis before paralysis. So we are analyzing and we are anticipating what will happen.
Anticipating what is happening. Yeah, nobody knows what is going to happen.
Yes, but I think that's the best thing to do right now. We have to kind of keep ourselves busy, and it's better to do some quality brainstorming and exchange some ideas, do some cross proliferation of ideas.
True.
Yeah. So excellent. So yet we haven't heard Chef Vikram. Is he there, or he has?
I think we have lost Vikram, Chef.
Okay, excellent. So I'll come back to Chef Gomes. Chef Gomes, now there is a sudden emergence of a trend that self-proclaimed chefs, they are doing more of a kind of those boutique home food, and right till now I will talk about Delhi NCR. There are quite a few people who are like socialite, and they do. I understand this was a trend in Europe earlier, but this has now seeped into India. They are inviting, they become stage one, they become popular, on social media by, sharing their home cooking recipes, etc. And they start inviting people on weekends. Somewhere they are eating out the business segment, which is actually meant for specialty restaurants, or specialty restaurants or 5-star hotels or standalone specialty restaurant. This particular trend, if you are able to relate, I would like to pick your brain. This trend is going to flourish and scale up, and a lot of apps are there, Home Chef, somebody who's not technically qualified to be a chef, but unlike medicine or engineering, even if you do not hold a valid degree, nobody can stop you from being a chef. There is no entry barrier, qualificational entry barrier in this space. So how this whole thing is going to pan out? What's your take on that?
It's a fact actually. If you see the world's population, I mean to say that age group between 14 to 60, 70, 95%, I mean, could be more than that also, are one point of time or something, we cook food. So technically, even everybody is a chef. We are certified chef because this is our profession. Other than that, even my mother is a chef, my sister is a chef, my wife is a chef. So everybody is chef. Now the things is getting more popular because the kind of food what we prepare is a celebration food. The hotel's foods are, I call it as a celebration food because this food you can't eat every day. Even whenever we get a long stay guest, they start complaining that we are eating the same kind of food, though the foods are not same. We are giving them one day butter chicken, one day Nizami handi, one day some dhaba mook, something and other. But they are complaining that we are getting same kind of food. Somewhere or other, I think the taste, they feel it's a similar. Here, when they start demanding for home cooked food, like humko ghar ka khana khila do, home style food. So the people who are, I mean, those bloggers or home chefs, they are cooking. So people start relating. I mean, when they start ordering from food from them, so they feel that this is a homely food. This food they can eat every day. For instance, there's an app called Masala Box. Like 2 months back, I was sitting 15 days at home. So I didn't know what to do. I said, let me try this Masala Box. So I have online enrolled it because I knew a few people. And I got a couple of orders. So the people are saying that this kind of food, they want it every day. But tone down a little bit of, your richness and all. So, I'm a chef, I've been cooking, but people, they are not ready to eat my food every day. They want to eat food like less masala, less oil, less, very light food. So I see that that's the reason they are flourishing. And that kind of food, even we have to, add in our menus, and our way of cooking also we need to change, because we can't spend more on the ingredient. So we need to simplify the recipe, and we have to give a simple food for the customers.
Absolutely. Chef Gomes, this is ये जिसको बना बोलते हैं हिंदी में, आयरनी बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में, कि आयरनी है कि होटल में आके लोग आजकल घर का खाना मांगते हैं और घर में उसकी वैल्यू ज्यादा होती है जो होटल जैसा खाना बनाता है.
That's right.
That's true.
We have Vikram chef who's back. You were seeking for him.
No, I'm sorry. Actually,
Yes.
I had lost connection. So,
No,
my
we
wife
understand.
No
Nepal
problem,
connection बहुत दूर है. Chef Vikram is actually based out of Nepal, so sometimes Gorkhas in the daytime they sleep.
No, it's not like that. It's not like actually.
Chef Vikram.
Properly.
No, we understood. You went for a power nap. It's very clear. So if you are done with your power nap, Chef Vikram, I would like to. I think there's knowledgeable bunch of people. Chef Gomes, Choudhury, Chef Bhatia. They have given some.
Your voice is breaking.
Now I think. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's clear.
Yeah, so I think I will let them take a small little break. They can go for power nap. And in between, I would like to ask from you that what is your favorite cuisine and why?
My favorite is Indian every time.
Now, within
And
Indian, if you have to specify to a region.
Actually, see, my favorite is South Indian, which I really love to.
Within South Indian, which particular specific South Indian?
Malabar.
Okay.
Yeah, Malabar I like because Malabar is a region where you get lots of spices and all, which I love. Like including lots of spices in my food. And Malabar is a cuisine which really inspired me. Though I'm not from South India, I'm from Jharkhand, which was Bihar before. But I just love that food of South India, and that Malabari cuisine is my favorite.
All right, chef. So I just, as a curious, I'm as a consumer, just wanted to ask, what is the difference and similarity between Malabari paratha and Lachha paratha?
The Malabari and Lachha is almost same. Malabari, what happened? They have lots of we have what do you call the way they make Lachha paratha. They'll not add too much of when you roll it like oil and all, what we put in the Lachha. Malabari Lachha we don't put. So
Malabari also you put Lachha.
Malabari is a lots of that rich paratha rich with oil and all what we use in that. And Lachha is a little drier side.
I want to take it from Vikram. It's here comes the technique. There is some special technique required to make the Malabari paratha, and also a technique required to make the Lachha paratha.
Even I think I think Lachha paratha is made with atta, and Malabar paratha is made with tapioca.
No, it's it's more of technique. Malabari paratha you require more technique.
Egg also. Different phases of culinary phases.
Yeah.
That is where we are specialists, and that's where each process.
But don't we think that somewhere this Lachha paratha has its root, Malabari paratha has its roots in Lachha paratha. In Delhi, a lot of people they use maida to make Lachha paratha, and it almost after breaking, mashing it, it almost tastes like Malabari paratha. I mean, if you
it's a technique. Actually, Malabari paratha, when you make, you have to take you have seen in Italy, Milan, how they make the pizza.
Yeah, you have to just flip it.
You have to flip it. You have to flip it like a thin sheet. Paper sheet.
Exactly.
You need a very special skill for that.
Yes, like a puff dough you have to make. Very thin.
Everything
is only the skill and technique difference. Both can be made with atta and maida.
Maida, both, right.
Yeah. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay, chef. Thank you. Thank you.
Rupesh, are you there or we have lost you again?
Lost him again.
I thought you have gone for a power nap.
He is frozen.
I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
was
gone to
sending
power up
everybody
again.
to power nap. I think he himself has gone to power nap. But nevertheless, I think it is a great session, and we had lovely till such time that he comes back. I will take a few questions that has been asked. The first question, I think I will give it to everyone, all the chefs here. Just before the COVID broke, the concept of cloud kitchen was getting a lot of popularity and a lot of traction. We call it cloud kitchen. Some people also call it ghost kitchen. I would like this question to be taken by all of you, probably one by one. What do you think is going to be the future of cloud or ghost kitchen? According to me, it has already become a ghost. So, over to you guys to kind of give your views.
Yes, the competition is becoming so much there that everybody wants to come down in the price war, and whether the quality, they have to be comparable, because everybody compares that food to everybody else. And now, if you see the bigger players, Taj, it's launched the new cloud kitchen called Cumin about 15-20 days back in Mumbai, and they sampled it. Now they've come to from 1st August in Bangalore. Ritz-Carlton, ITC hotels, they're all coming up into the cloud kitchen. And there were these poor survivors who were doing these cloud kitchens, whether it was small little Maka Dhaba, this Dhaba, that hotel, that restaurant. They were running at an APC of 200, 250, 300 rupees. And these big fat guys who were running at an APC of 3,000-4,000 rupees, when they dropped down to 500, 450, it is like Alice in the Wonderland. Everybody is thinking, what do I do? And how do I survive? Do I rotate my money? Some of them have shut their shops. Some of them are yet to in the whole bargain. And I think it is not going to last very long, about another few months, and there will be a rational. After that rational, things will open again, because everybody would want to go to their core business, is what they call it. This is only time pass. This is only overload of gyan which everybody is filtering down. Let me also try cloud kitchen. A housewife who's sitting in a house, he says, I can cook good dosas. Let me put a cloud kitchen and let me put this. Somebody says, oh, I've come from UP and I can make some good puri and aloo sabji. Let me open a cloud kitchen there. Somebody says that, oh, I can, grandmother taught me a good kayast recipe of a chicken. Let me open a kayast. So everybody is in that field. So you do not know whom you are racing with. Are you racing with cars, bullock carts, aeroplanes, or whatever? It has to be rational, and I guess it is a time which will show. It is already starting. As you said, it is already becoming ghost before it gets ghost, and it takes a new incarnate to be a done. That's what is going to done up. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with Bhatia. Yes, but people will prefer to, known ghost than rather than being an unknown ghost.
Sure.
The hotels and the known restaurants, their cloud kitchen will sustain for much longer time rather than unknowing restaurants. Cloud kitchens, because people are so concerned about their hygiene and their safety that they prefer to order food from the known sources. So even that's the reason most of the hotels are entering into the cloud kitchen, because we want to cater our customers, the same kind of food from their home. So earlier we never knew that the food just will select the food. We don't know from which kitchen that food is coming from. Few months back there was an article that any Tom, Dick and Harry, they are registering into Swiggy, and their kitchens are so pathetic. They use unhygienic atmosphere, and even the food are contaminated. So that obviously those kitchens will die.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree with.
Sorry, it's just sustainability. Heavier, bigger pocket hotels, they would only do it till the time their main business starts back. It is sustainability.
See, it's depend whether it's a cloud kitchen, dark kitchen, or ghost kitchen. It's everything depend on how safely you cook the food. How can you promote your kitchen in a safer way to the customer? The customer can come back. So we can't say that the future is dead of cloud kitchen and this can be happen. That it's depend on how safe you are making the food. So safety
But
will
Chef,
be
I
the
do.
more important.
But Chef, I agree with all of you. But what happening is now the competition is going to be very tough. Since the COVID is happening and people are more aware about hygiene and all stuff, and people are
Yeah, that's
becoming
why I'm
more
telling
health conscious.
safety. Food safety
Yeah,
will be more important.
and the people have become more health conscious moreover. So as Chef Rana was mentioning about the home food and all this stuff. So what happening is the people are having one kind of mindset where they talk about big hotel, they think that the food they make is very rich and all stuff. Got the point. So what happened? Probably definitely they will look for, as Chef Bhatia says, it is a point of time when again this cloud kitchen is going to come back, and which is going to be happen, sir. I know, and that's going to be a future, because what happened, people whoever like taking food and buying food from outside, definitely they will look for those kind of cloud kitchen, and they would love to take food which is homely made and home food sort of stuff.
Yeah, in this point, one thing I have to say, like what Gomes said, like Swiggy and Zomato need to be very particular from which kitchen they are choosing, from where they are tying up. You know, they need to be very particular. The kitchen need to be certified. This is a suggestion I am to say.
Exactly.
Might be possible.
Swiggy and Zomato will not change their platform.
Yeah.
The players will kind of have different strategy. For example, anyone holding a mobile phone and a Facebook account or Instagram account, social media account is a reporter. But when these reporters came into existence, it was believed that the traditional reporting organizations will be dead. But the electronic media, they came in the channel. They are what they do. They don't produce their own news. They validate or certify the news which they are collecting from some few billion reporters.
Validation is very absolutely correct.
I think we have lost Rupesh ji again. This question of cloud kitchen was coming from Mr. Saurav Kumar Mukherjee. Saurav, thank you for asking a valid question. I think we have to co-host. Today it's actually co-hosting happening. So nevertheless, so there is a specific question coming for Chef Amitabh Choudhury. One of our faculty member wants to know, when you say kitchen will be more technical and a lot of usage of technology, can you specify in some areas where you will see increased usage of technology, Chef Amitabh Choudhury?
Now, if you see that we all know that manpower will be becoming expensive, we have to reduce the manpower. I'm giving a simple example. Suppose you are making in Indian section a gravy. Suppose we are making makhani gravy. Now, what we used to do in past or present day, we used to make every day the makhani gravies every day. So what will be in the future? The gravy will make in one day and we'll do a vacuum pack. We'll vacuum pack it, solid vacuum pack it, and we'll keep in the deep freezer. When it's required, we'll take it out, we'll do a sous vide cooking. And I think who questioned me this, he knows what is sous vide cooking. And we do a sous vide cooking and cook the makhani gravy. So it will be required in some time. It will be very important, and we can use that technology in some ways.
Great, great. Rupesh ji is back. Rupesh ji, over to you. There was a question that I was kind of taking on. So
yes, absolutely. I just wanted to kind of reaffirm what Chef Bhatia and Chef Gomes. I think they all agree that the cloud kitchen is actually going to stay, but the cloud within the cloud kitchen, within the cloud kitchen is going to be controlled by the existing conventional hospitality brands or legacy players. Eventually, they will come on that platform and they will have their clout on that cloud kitchen. That's how it is going to morph into. I mean, that's how I wanted to sum it up. I think, Ravi, you can actually take more questions. I'm done with my bit. I think they have covered a very wide spectrum of understanding. And in these COVID times, any analysis beyond this is of no, good use. Maybe if you have some faculty and some students, they can, come up with their specific questions if they want to.
Absolutely, the forum is open, guys. Vipulji, you can, anybody who's a member, who's participant, feel free to ask questions. The chefs are all ready to kind of take your questions up. Until such time the questions are coming, I would like to kind of give my views on the outsourcing. So you guys spoke as a chef on outsourcing. I would like to speak and add my bit as a general manager, come a chef. You know, when I was in Holiday Inn Express, I was said that you run the 130 key hotel with 22 people. Now that was a shocker for me. 1:0.3 staff ratio was given to me. When I landed there, I saw that housekeeping is outsourced, engineering is outsourced. There is no security. There is no concept of bellboy. Breakfast, we don't have 5 people who stand there to serve breakfast. There is just one guy who does only clearance, and that's about it. Initially, for the first time ever, I saw frozen idlis and frozen dosas, and we were asked to kind of serve frozen idlis and frozen dosas. Now, me being from kitchen background and after working in South India for so long, I said, this is ridiculous. I'm not gonna do it. Because if somebody gives me a frozen idli or a frozen dosa to eat, you know, that too in South India, where you're sitting in the heart, right across the road, you will get a freshly, done dosa. So I said, boss, not happening. Nevertheless, I fought with IHG. It was Holiday Inn Express that I was managing there. I fought with them, came to a middle-term understanding with the kitchen guys. So I can tell you, administration of such a setup is definitely a tough task. In fact, I was the one who proposed that we should have chefs, at least 2 of them, based on the payroll of Sodexo, because Sodexo was our outsourcing partner. We said at least 2 chefs will be with us. So that in the night time, there were a lot of guests who used to ask for something and the kitchen is closed and we were not able to offer. We could only say, these are the frozen stuff available. Can I heat it and bring it for you? So in the Indian context, the outsourcing story will take some time. And I will not say that India is full of unprofessionals, but the level of professionalism that needs to be in the outsourcing company, the level of it definitely needs to increase. You know, the minimum performance guideline needs to be more stern. There should be yardstick and measurement stick through which we can actually deliver the performance. It is not just the manpower count, but the delivery of this manpower, which makes a lot of sense. So the question is open, guys. Anybody, any participant would like to ask a question? Feel free.
Mr.
We have
Rajiv,
Saurabh Kumar, who has already asked a question. I have Pranav Walia, who has already asked a question to us.
Mr. Rajiv,
Vipul,
you can go ahead with the question. Mr. Rajiv Thakur.
Rajiv, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to query one thing I put in chat box as well. So after this pandemic area, what kind of menu planning needs to be changed in the hospitality industry, especially the hotels and restaurants?
Good question, Rajiv. Any chefs who would like to take it? I see Chef Amitabh willing to take the question.
See, what I feel the menu need to be more limited. You should not go for wide choices. Keep the menu limited and try to change the menu every alternative day. And what also I suggest that any specialty restaurant, you should go every day to the market and buy the fresh and keep limited portion. When it's sold out, let it sold out. And believe on the proper technique of cooking when you are going for this after COVID. This I should take on that. Am I okay with the answer?
Sir Amitabh, my question is what kind of menu changes in the menu? Menu has already been running for a couple of years. I have been a chef myself.
Okay.
So my question is, anything related to the change in menu is going to occur?
Nothing. The menu has to be very short. Nothing has to be changed. Don't go for too fancy items. Keep the simple item. Don't go for too complicated and fancy items. Take out all the frozen items what is being used in the menu.
Perfect. Exactly. I agree with Chef Amitabh. For the new now, this new COVID menu has to have more of a fresh food. What he's talking about, where food has to be like we have to use more of organic stuff for the menu, and the frozen food has to be kept it out from the menu.
Very right.
And very limited. And keep the menu simple. Very simple. Don't go for complicated.
It has to be sweet and short menu.
Yeah. Don't go for fancy garnish and fancy presentation and all. Keep less of human touch.
One more question to you. In the food production area, are we going to get something from outside as well? Outsourcing we require to do or no? We don't require to do any outsourcing.
See, if you ask me personally this question, I would say no. No
Perfect.
outsourcing. Everything should be in-house.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's what I agree with Chef Amitabh. The chef has to plan his menu such a way where everything has to be used, that internal sources what you have. You have to use all the resources and make sure, of course, the perishables and all, everything you have to buy it from out, but outsourcing stuff has to be curtailed.
In-house. Yeah.
Say Vikram.
Yes.
Hygiene with a capital H is the most important thing. As
Say
times-
Bhatia, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
I just wanted to query one question to you.
Yeah.
What kind of practices in terms of hygiene and sanitation has been developed after the COVID area in the food production area? Although we have been maintaining a good standard of hygiene in the hotel kitchens, but something special is being done or shall be done in future?
Yes, it is. What you've been doing is you've been doing yourselves. Today is a time which you have to show it to your diner that what you've been doing. So you have to be more transparent. You have to show what you've been doing. And that's what is the answer. The hygiene audit.
Like what all, sir?
Like a hygiene audit, which FSSAI is telling to do. Get it stamped. You have your kitchens, cameras fixed in your kitchen where your diner can see you and develop more trust that what is happening in your kitchen and he can see in things happening. Food is what you cook, you will cook. It is just that you have to be a little more careful about what you do, and the trust in your diner as it comes back. You can cook anything, any menu, in my opinion.
And I
But you were
believe all chefs cook food with lots of safety.
Yeah, it is what let people see. Let people realize that this is what I am doing, and inside out is what was probably reality. Today has become a virtual reality. Like we are not sitting across a board table and talking or meeting together. We are talking on a virtual screen. So today's customer also wants to have virtual confidence in you, that you don't get disturbed. You do whatever you're doing in your operations, but let it be seen, let it be more transparent. And that is what is the name of the game in the coming times.
Yeah, coming time, what I want to say, Nimish, is get the kitchen from back of the house to front of the house.
Yes. Cook, involve with people. It's not only virtual reality, it's also augmented reality. What you would see in video games and things like that, the augmented reality is already started in Europe and Americas, where they involve you in this whole process of being your orders being taken and the food being cooked. You can actually see in that television the chef is being cooking your food, and you can tell your spice levels and your allergen levels or whatever you have, or you what the way you want the food to be. And you are connected with this. The chef is not coming only in asking you that, hello sir, how's your food? Hope you like it. No, that day is passé. Now it is a step ahead. You can actually virtually communicate and see what's happening.
See, it was, Nimish, it was there from long time. In my previous organization, when I was in Muscat with Renaissance, my kitchen, that what we are cooking, that has to be, it was visible in the restaurant. There was a big glass screen. So what everything is cooked in the kitchen, you can see in the restaurant. What is going on, how the process, even how the butchery guy is doing his butchery, the receiving, everything was visible. So this practice was there from last 4-5 years. Yeah.
No, I'm saying virtual communication can happen.
Yeah.
You can talk. These were only one-dimensional. Food has become multi-sensuous.
The technology is very advanced now. You can do that.
No, even food is all about sensuousness.
It's a reality show.
Reality show. It's a reality show.
The co-diner is more important than you as a diner.
It will be more of DIY, yeah.
The co-diner, if it is good food, you feel, it's great.
It will be more of DIY. Do it yourself.
Chef Nimish, Chef Amitabh, one more question which I have in mind, that we have in the banquets and barbecues, or even in the poolside barbecues, we are left out with certain amount of food, which we used to resurface. Now the same process will continue, or what will you do with the leftover food?
That process never need to be continued. Before also, in past, in present, in future, it's never, if you ask me. The chef should know how much quantity should be cooked. He should have we call it line cooking. Means we know the quantity, how much need to be cooked. We need to be very calculated what we are cooking. The wastage level need to be very less. There should not be a food which can be a waste. And reuse, no reuse. There is no question of anything to be reused.
The whole idea of barbecue is to cook to order.
Too fresh,
So when
to order, yeah.
What it is, you only cook that much and rest remains marinated or fresh. Fresh is always good, no?
Best. We always believe fresh is best.
Supposedly, we are left out with 1 kg or 2 kgs of chicken tikka. Now, that chicken tikka used to be converted to
Chef Rajiv,
some other gravy item before. Now,
Yeah.
that cannot be done still?
I would suggest not to go for that.
Very right. Very right.
Why that chicken? Why that 1 kilo chicken tikka should be left? You distribute to the staff. You give it to the staff. Send it to the cafeteria same day.
Even not, if you're saying 1 kilo chicken, if it is a marinated chicken, it hardly takes 2.5 minutes and a bonfire to get it cooked on one side.
Yeah.
Why we want to overcook it? Cook it fresh, it is juicier, it is better. And you
That's
can
right,
always make it again.
Very
Don't-
right. Very right.
That's why I would suggest for large banqueting, you should go for live kitchen, show kitchen. Make small kitchen, go for show kitchen, keep the things marinated and cook. If you are making Ragan Josh also, make it fresh.
Absolutely.
If you want to make dal makhani, make it fresh. If you want to temper the dal, temper it fresh. So
See,
go
the
for
trend is
show
already
kitchen.
coming out. If you see the lot of live counters of dal, sabjis, palace.
Everything. Pani makhani, everything.
Now today, almost everything is live counter.
You take out the name, everything can be possible live.
Absolutely, which is trying to show that, very soon everything will be done on the spot.
One
I
way
think
we
we
are.
have been missing out Rupesh, back and forth. But I guess I would like to draw the curtain here and say thank you to all of you, all the chefs, Chef Nimish Bhatia, Amitabh Choudhury, Rana, Gomes, Vikram Chef. Thank you so very much for taking time on a Saturday and giving your experience talks here. Our students, faculty and myself, along with the co-host, we have really enriched in a lot of new things to know, a lot of new trends that we have understood about it today. I guess with this, I will call the session for an end. Thank you, participants. Thank you, chefs. Thank you for taking time out and, being a part of this small webinar session. Thank you so very much.
It's our pleasure.
Thank
I
you.
think
Thank
we
you.
will
Rupesh is
you.
back.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, chef.
And
closing note,
Thank you, chef.
please. Yeah.
yeah, just one last this thing, sorry, I've been back and forth. There is very bad connectivity today. It was great interacting with all of you, Chef Gomes, Chef Choudhury, and Bhatia, Chef Vikram. I also, take this opportunity on this, taking liberty to invite all of you to, we have created some beautiful farm retreats in the lap of Himalaya called the Goat Village. And there, it's a true farm to table concept. And whenever your time permits, if you happen to be in northern part of India, please come and be my guest and, experience a new kind of, culinary.
Well, you forgot
Yeah,
to
okay,
add
thank you,
Bakri
thank
Chap.
you,
Why
thank
don't you
you,
tell
sir.
them about it? I think that's a good thing that they should know about it.
Yes, I can, talk to them offline because this is your academic platform. So I don't want to, market my own product, but I'm just extending an invite to all the chefs, and it would be so nice to interact with them, at the site itself.
Somebody
Wonderful.
said once a chef, always a chef. I think that stands true here at least. Yeah. Great.
Wonderful.
Once again, thank you so very much, everybody. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
everyone.
Thank you,
everyone.
Ravi.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
chef.
Thank you,
Thank
chef.
you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, chef. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, chef.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.